Hello everyone, I'm Bill, the warehouse manager here at GliderSports, bringing you today's GliderSports Pro Tip. In this episode, we're going to be discussing various mounting methods to attach a reserve to your harness. Here I've laid out a couple versions of split bridle, a Y bridle, and various mounting accessories. We are going to start with the simplest, easiest, cleanest connection, which is just a fabric-to-fabric connection between the reserve and your harness. For this, we're going to utilize this split bridle with a large loop. For this demonstration, I'm going to be using a Gravity Paramotors customized supair harness. What we want to do is simply take the small end of your bridle, route it through the harness attachment point, taking note to make the bulk of your bridle routing away from all of the Velcro, and simply create a lark's head. What I'm left with is two large loops. We are going to feed that through the reserve and wrap around the entire reserve, taking care not to mess up your pretty pack job. Before snugging this lark's head, make sure your routing is clean so as not to induce more stress, and go ahead and tighten.
Once your bridle is installed properly, for this example, we're going to be using the supair zip-on reserve pocket with many additional pockets available at GliderSports.com. First, you're going to go ahead and look at your deployment handle attachment options. We're going to use the center attachment point today. You're going to simply make a second lark's head on the reserve deployment handle. At this point, you want to make sure you're cleaning up all the fabric so that it can lay as clean as possible. Move your reserve bag underneath your bridle. Set your length of bridle exposure. Close cover flaps, making sure not to catch any material with any of the Velcro material. Clean line routing and ensure that there's no potential knots or snags available for loops or exposed material of your bag. This particular bag is going to close from sides to bottom to top. You'll close one side, then the other loosely, ensuring that the handle comes up between the left and the right. After ensuring that routing's proper and handle has clean routing to the reserve diaper bag, you'll pull tight. A temp pin is handy. Do not worry about the way the corners look at this point, as they will be cleaned up in a later process. After the handle's completely closed, you'll want to remove all tools used. Do a quick tool count. Ensure that all tools have been claimed. This is the time to which when we tidy up our closed bag, shifting any material we need left or right, utilizing all covers, pouches to make sure that no part of the reserve is exposed to any UV or abrasion. Shift material as needed. Want to make close attention to tucking in the tabs with Velcro to prohibit lines from being able to accidentally deploy your reserve upon inflation. And now your zip-on reserve pocket's ready to install.
Now we've gone ahead and installed our side mount reserve. What we need to do now is finalize the routing of the bridle. For this, make sure your bridle is routed all the way outside, protecting the entire system, the hook and loop. And we want to make sure that we have enough loose bridle for the entire travel of your arm. And finally, we clean up the excess bridle. We prefer to take it and put it down in our pocket, making sure nothing overlaps any other item, and close. Repeat this step for the other side, and you're ready to fly. Anytime you can't or don't want to use a lark's head to make a fabric-to-fabric connection, you can use a carabiner, or preferably a malleon. To create a malleon connection, simply take one loop through. At this point, you will want to use a rubber band or a O-ring to create a non-sliding point for your connections. On a malleon, simply do finger tight plus 1/4 turn to prevent damage to your malleon. Now, for a soft link, this is the most complicated but strongest connection point during install, and this requires a few more steps. Simply put through both connection points, run it through and through again, back through. It's kind of like the rabbit chasing the hole, something like that. Over the tab, creating a tight connection there. And the connector is, tab goes through the keeper. Like that. Here at GliderSports, we do sell equipment for different air sports. So, for instance, this is a skydiving soft link, and this is a paragliding soft link. If you can't tell the difference between these two and you're using them on a life-saving device, please give us a call. Thanks for joining us for this GliderSports Pro Tip. We shot this video to give a basic overview of how to install one type of reserve system. Reserves can be a life-saving device. The GliderSports rigging department has seen countless examples of reserves being improperly installed. If you choose to fly a reserve in this unregulated sport and do not understand how to properly install, pre-flight, maintain, or use a reserve, please seek professional guidance. Fly safe.